What is up, everybody? So, I'm going to make this very clear for, you know, people that know me by my old name, just really quickly, and then for you new guys that are brand new, I'm going to be showing you guys what you can expect. I'm not going by that name anymore. I no longer associate with it.
I truly didn't think we could get a more regarded intro than this from Cyraxs, but at this point, I'm just setting the bar as low as possible. I mean, this man, he's over here making YouTube channels, deleting YouTube channels, threatening people from years ago, having 2 lawyers for his for his court case. I mean, this man is just wilding out over here. Now, from my previous video about Cyraxs, there were some minor upticks and adjustments that have gone on with the court case. The prominent one is that he's somehow garnered enough money to hire a lawyer, an actual lawyer, not just a public defender. And this guy specializes in DUIs. So that's very cool. And I don't think he understands what he's gotten into with Cyraxs. But Cyraxs essentially leads up to his infamous court case, and he's calling out Kate. He's making new Kick channels. He's making new YouTube channels. He's really just poking the bear, and he's going to learn today. We're going to make him learn.
This dog, man, I've had a lot of good luck with this dog recently. Ooh, I see him. What you want?
For a professional gamer, it's quite hard to look at this and just try and rationalize the look of his face as he's trying to kill somebody in CS:GO. Now, there's a lot of things that we can analyze here. I mean, clearly he got somebody to hook him up with an overlay for his stream. The problem is, this overlay looks like it's straight out of like 2004. It's not looking very good. He has anime soldier people in the bottom. One of his new channels is called Skytech Gaming. The other is called Desolate Screams. So that's very cool, Cyraxs. Everybody was like really hyped up that you're clearly disassociating yourself from your previous persona. And the funny part is, if you ever watch one of his like gaming streams or like chill streams, whatever you want to call it, he like puts on this odd persona of this like, oh man, we're gonna hang out together and we're gonna play some games, man, we're gonna pwn some noobs. And it's like, Cyraxs, who do you think you're fooling? And if you want to try and get away from your old persona, it might be beneficial to not just do the same things over and over and over again. I know I'm like talking to, a lonely, abandoned, Turkish regarded cat on the side of the road that's been hit by like 3 motorcycles. So like clearly he's not going to get the message, but somebody has to get that point across. This looks like shit.
What's up, y'all? So, I'm making this video because I spoke with a few friends and my personal legal team, and they all agreed that it'd be a good idea for me to make this video. And this video is me calling out Kate Peters, aka Mass Troll Mafia.
Yes, Cyraxs, you definitely consulted with your lawyers, and they're like, Cyraxs, in the coming weeks, we have a court case about you hitting an innocent man on the sidewalk with a baseball bat. I think our first line of attack should be you to go on to a new YouTube channel that you create and calling out a woman who catfished you as a little kid 3 years ago. And I think you should call her out for her crimes, because we're gonna own her, dude. That's how our court case starts. And like the crazy part about Cyrax's brain, not much up there, not much going on. But the one of the craziest parts is that he somehow thinks all this other trivial bullshit that he keeps doing, like the Kate stuff and the trolling stuff, like, you know, my hope would be it gets introduced into court so that they actually have to, you know, examine it, and it gets put up as, you know, a piece of evidence for the trial. It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think his lawyer is somewhat smarter than a typical Joe Schmo, so he probably wouldn't let this slide. I also imagine that none of these people are ever in contact with Cyraxs. I feel like he probably sees them at the courthouse, and that's it, because they don't want to see him. You think some dude that passed the bar and went to law school and is wearing a $2,000 suit, you think that guy's gonna roll up to the Lloyd Street house and get a bunch of bed bugs and dead mice stuck inside of his nice clothing? I doubt it. I don't think so, buckaroo.
After everything went down, I asked you, why did you target me? To begin with. Before you did what you did to me and you committed your crime, and you committed that atrocity, you sat right there and said, because I'm a pedophile, right? Well, you had no proof or grounds to go on to target me with. You have none.
I mean, it's a really tired point that Cyraxs keeps trying to make. You know, where's the proof? Where's the proof? It's like, I can't deal with somebody who is basically, you know, I wanna say what I wanna say. Take substitute and take human, and you can think of the phrase I'm trying to say about Cyraxs. And you know, you can't rationalize with somebody like that, because even when he's presented, even when he is interacted with, even when he is a part of the ploy, this regard just will never figure it out. He'll never understand that he's ever done anything wrong. So all these videos, he literally makes like 8 videos talking to Kate. It's preposterous. This man is like obsessively delusional. You know, we can't help him. But I also like that he's describing these crimes that Kate's committed, you know. Oh man, yeah, he's really been victimized, you know. He's like Gaddafi being pulled out into the streets, you know. He's like any other, you know, some poor temple from, you know, early BC getting blown up in the middle of Syria. You know, that's Cyraxs right now. You know, him getting called out for talking to a fake 14-year-old online. Oh man, that's his 9/11.
Well, let's see your little history here. This is what 16 years of abuse does to an innocent child. Rainwater's ends interview after a parent unconscientious woman falls on him, claims it was a girl hugging him, vows to file a lawsuit and contact congressman if I write about it.
So here's the whole thing. Cyraxs goes to some tabloid website that has some articles allegedly about Kate. You know, I obviously showed up after the whole Kate saga. I've rewatched some of that stuff. I don't watch Masshole Mafia or anything like that, so I don't know all the ins and outs. For all I know, all these articles could be 100%, yep, Kate is a bad person. Okay, well, that doesn't invalidate anything that you did, Cyraxs, alright? And, you know, it's even more painful to sit here and have to listen to a 30-year-old man read at, like, a 3rd grade level, unconscientious. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's impressive because he somehow took unconscious and stretched it out into more syllables, you know. if you're in a third grade classroom, maybe Miss Susan up there might give you some points for, you spelled it wrong and you pronounced it wrong, but hey, you put a bigger word in there. Who knows? That couldn't be too bad, but it's painful. If you were ever in the piss waters of the Genovaverse, you know how painful it is to just listen to some complete dunce try and read stuff. And like, at least Jason Genova had an excuse. What is Cyrax's excuse, dude? Like, oh god, you just sit in your room all day. At least you could do is rehearse.
Because unlike you dumb broad, I actually give a fuck about people, okay? I actually fucking care about what happens to people and what goes on with them. Because I've been down in the dumps. I've been to the bottom and back. So I know what it's like.
I mean, he lives in the dumps, so that's already a leg up on most people in society. Most people try and take some respect for where they live, but clearly Chance doesn't. But he's been down. He's been the scum of the earth, and he's risen up to being whatever slightly bigger than the microscopic bacteria on the ground. He's grown in the Akron scene, and I don't know where he gets his perception that he's some like philanthropist. He's some big name in the Akron area. The dude doesn't leave his house, and the only things he does at home is jerk off and talk to 12-year-olds. So yeah, Cyraxs, maybe in your fictitious fairy tale land you are accomplishing something, but in real life, you're getting what's coming to you.
For just pure argument reason here, for the sake of argument, let's say that what happened is true. It still wouldn't make me a pedophile. You want to know why? Because according to the U.S. government, this is on their actual site. This is their cover right here. What is the Massachusetts age of consent? The Massachusetts age of consent is 16 years old in the United States. The age of consent is the minimum age at which an individual is considered legally old enough to consent to participation in sexual activity. My name, as of this moment, is cleared. And if anybody thinks otherwise...
Yeah, you really owned us, Cyraxs. The funny part is, he eventually gets to the Ohio statute of consent, but why even start with the Massachusetts? He probably types in age of consent and the first one that comes up is Massachusetts. He's still trying to figure out how to spell Ohio, how many O's are in there, It's really hard to figure out, so give him a break, guys. But I don't know about every state. I don't know about Ohio's statute, but a lot of states, when the age of consent is 16, that's usually to give grace to like people that are like 18 or 19 who are dating a 16-year-old. I still think it's weird, but it's usually to give that grace period so that somebody that is technically an adult 18-year-old who's dating a 16-year-old isn't going to get arrested for R-ing somebody, for aping somebody. So that's usually my interpretation for how these laws are usually laid out. I don't think people would look very fondly on a 30-year-old man sending explicit pictures and videos to a 16-year-old. All that is thrown in the garbage can when the entire situation was because she was 14 years old, Cyraxs. We're not living in Saudi Arabia. You're not going to be able to get away with that scat fetish, I'm sorry. You're in Ohio, and, it's probably one step above Saudi Arabia. I'm not casting aspersions over here. But you're too stupid. You're too dumb. It's a 14-year-old. You've been caught red-handed. Please present this to the court, because I'd love to see another charge get struck down on you.
Right now, both of my lawyers are prepared to come down on her. And if they do, she's looking at a year behind bars if she does not comply. The only reason why they're not going after her right now is because I told them that I would try to resolve this peacefully. And the only, like I said, right now, the only thing standing between Kate and a jail cell right now is me.
You know, this power fantasy is really getting him off right now. But let me spell it out very bluntly for you, Cyraxs. Serve her. Serve her. If you actually communicate with your lawyers and they think that this is a case of entrapment, serve her. Send her to court and they will decide. And I feel pretty confident that if Cyraxs somehow actually communicated this with a lawyer and the lawyer thought this and they actually served her, then I think the community would rally around her and help pay for her lawyer fees. Because all of this would just be a complete disaster for Cyraxs. It would not look good on him because even if you want to, I don't see how this is entrapment at all, because she wasn't trying to arrest him. She wasn't calling the police on him. She was exposing him to the internet for the person that he truly is. You know, getting fooled is not illegal, to my knowledge. Not yet, at least, you know. Making jokes are pretty close, and getting fooled is probably not far behind. But, Cyraxs, you've been played like a fiddle, and it's time to just own up to it, buddy, you know? They're gonna turn you into Swiss cheese when you go to jail. You know, they don't look fondly on people like you. So, it's time to toughen up, you know, go to Marty's boot camp, you know, let him get you all nice and strong so that you can fight off the offenders coming after you to really just split you wide open.
Where that my buddy got me hooked up with, I sat down on video, I showed him to that managed to find like all the original screen grabs and everything like that.
From what?
And I should
screen
like
grabs
the
of
whole,
what?
like the text messages and shit between me and Kate and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I found it is because they were floating around through the trolls. So I was able to, you know, grab them up.
Okay.
And like I sat down, I showed him everything. I showed him the live stream where she was, you know, talking about it and this and that after it happened. And in his exact words, I was entrapped. And that right there is illegal. Like, that's very illegal.
Yeah, I'm sure this entire situation definitely happened. I mean, we already know that this is just a ploy from Cyraxs to try and intimidate people. You know, sometimes I sit here and wonder, it's like, and this is a little bit corrupt, but for instances like Cyraxs, where, you know, their entire net worth was tied into the fence that was wrapping their backyard that some people tried to take. You know, when you're dealing with people like that, you can almost get away with saying anything about them, because what are they going to do? They don't have money to sue you. So it's like, alright, Cyraxs, you know, cool, follow through with this. Let's see how that works, because I would like to imagine that anybody that Cyraxs would try to sue, they could milk him. They would bleed him dry by just, okay, well, you know, I'm going to tell my lawyer to just keep continuing the court case. We're compiling evidence. That's what we'll just keep doing over and over and over, you know, and obviously by 1 hour into the session of Cyraxs having an actual lawyer that he has to pay for, he's already, like negative $300 in debt. It's not looking good. And if you drag that out for a couple months, maybe a year, who knows? They're never going to be able to pay that back. So, yeah, it's a bit crooked, but hey, you know, fight fire was fire. I'm sure the lawyer definitely looked at these text messages and saw your turn, cutie, and thought, yeah, Cyraxs, you got screwed. You were screwed there. If that's true, then this lawyer is actually a troll, and it's going to be so beautiful.
Are you actually suing YouTube, I heard?
Do I?
Are you actually suing YouTube, I heard?
If this goes the way that probably will be going, more than likely YouTube could very well have a lawsuit on their hands.
Wow.
And the reason for that is because they know about what's been going on, apparently.
They know?
As far as I know, because there's been so many people that have written in emails and, you know, done a whole bunch of reports.
Cyraxs, if you think that YouTube cares about you at all, you would be sorely disappointed in how little they care about people that are actually relevant on their platform. And so the whole thing, it's like, yeah, maybe he's like sort of on their radar, but to my knowledge, he is the one deleting his channels, not YouTube. I'm sure there are certain instances that YouTube has deleted his channel for community guidelines or whatever. It's usually the streaming platforms that are more stringent and actually are deleting, and because he's ban evading. I don't know what the ban evasion policy is on YouTube. I think it's the same. I think it's like if you get banned once, you can't make any other channels, and they'll ban you if they find out you're doing it again. But like, Cyraxs, be realistic here, buddy. You think you're going to be able to sue YouTube, Google? You think that's going to happen? What are you going to sue them for? Because people were mean to you on the internet? Because people rightfully said that you're attracted to little kids? You think that's going to fly? And the funny thing is, it's like, if you have any recollection of any history about YouTube at all, YouTube has been sued by like massive mega corporations and has won. So it's like, yeah, some nitwit that, you know, he has as many IQ points as he has appendages on his body. That dude is going to somehow bring down a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Yeah, I'd love to see that, Cyraxs. Just for, you know, it's like we're writing the plot of some TV show that could come out in 15 years. And hey, I watch it. Regard versus the internet. Let's bring it on.
What's up, guys? So, for the next few days, I'm not going to be live. Matter of fact, I don't know when I'm going to be live again. And the reason for that is I'm sick and tired of being stepped on, backstabbed. I'm sick of it. Because of you, Michael, I no longer trust anyone.
So, I think he's starting to feel the walls close in on him a little bit, you know. This happens all the time, though. It's like we're rehashing the same story over and over again. You know, it's like, I don't know what season, like, Modern Family's on, but Modern Family is probably 15 seasons too far into the show, and they're just rehashing the same old garbage over and over again. That's literally what Cyraxs is, because it's like, every single time he gets duped by people that he puts blind trust into, and then they turn on him, and you don't have friends, Cyraxs. They don't exist. You're all on your own. It's the Wilkins household, and that's it. Nobody that's online is your friend. So he's mad at Michael hacking. It's whatever, and I think he's a little bit afraid because he does mention, well, this might be my last stream ever, who knows? And it's not because he doesn't want to stream, it's because he might be behind bars pretty soon.
Like I said, I've got my circle of friends. I've got my close circle of friends. That's all I fucking need.
It's just like, Cyraxs is completely delusional. It's over, boys. You know, he doesn't have a close circle of friends. He never has. You know, he has Sally. He has Ed. Ed doesn't even like him. But it's just like, who is he fooling? It's the same thing like, I know Amberlynn Reed recently talked about how she had some best friend for 10 years that she was hanging out with now or whatever. And it's like, people like this, if they have actual friends, cannot contain their excitement to tell everybody about this friendship that they have. Because they're trying to flex on you, and they're trying to be like, oh yeah, look at me. You know, I have friends. You know, I have people that want to hang out with me. Cyraxs, nobody wants to hang out with you. You got bugs flying all around you. You're basically a walking corpse. Pass. Nobody wants that.
So, unfortunately, due to a family emergency that I'm dealing with, I unfortunately will not be able to make it on panel tonight. But I did want you, like, if you can answer this question on your panel, that'd be great. Like, why did you entrap me when I have no record? I've never been arrested for anything in my life except for one thing, which I went to counseling for and I did better for.
Yeah, come on, guys. I only went to jail once because I strangled my 60-year-old grandmother. Come on, guys. Like, give me a break. I went to counseling for it. She dropped the charges. It's not even on my record, bro. Like, give me a break. You know, I also love, he's like all sludged out here. Where's the bravado, Cyraxs? You were just coming in storms ablazing, and now you're afraid to even go on Kate's live stream? Where's the hardcore metal albumnist? Is that even a word? That I've been looking for. You know? This man, he's afraid, he's hiding in the shadows. You know, at the very least, Cyraxs, can't you just like go put your instruments away? Maybe fix those doors of your closet. I don't know, man. Maybe turn on a light or two inside your room. Do something useful, please.
And I don't want to see your kids go through what I got put through. Because when I was born, my biological father was in prison. And as a kid, I had to look at my biological father through a freaking prison door. And that hurt me a lot. That hurt me a lot. And I don't want to have to see your kids go through the same thing. All you need to do is admit to what you did. All you have to do is admit to setting me up. And apologize. And to let people know that I'm not a pedophile. That's all you need to do.
This is like that scene during any like crime detective show where the cop is interrogating the bad guy and he slowly pulls out the tape recorder to put it on the table to say, well, now's your time to say what you have to say. You know, Cyraxs is trying, for whatever reason, to get Kate to admit that she did anything wrong when nothing was really at fault. It's also funny that he's going to bring up his dad. I don't know if any of that scenario is true. I thought Cyraxs got taken away when he was like really young. So I don't know if he was like visiting his dad when he was in prison at that point. I really don't know the whole timeline related to that scenario, but it seems like a complete fabrication. It also doesn't help. You know, I don't think I'd be crying and pissing and moaning that, you know, my dad who assaulted a 14-year-old, that I can't see him because you'd be next, buddy. You know, if it wasn't her, it'd probably be you. So maybe you should be grateful that that monster is locked up.
So you faked a family emergency so you couldn't go on a panel, but then you call me 5 times in a row? Don't call me anymore, Cyraxs.
Hey, bitch ass. Why don't you shut the fuck up and answer the fucking question? Why did you feel like you had to do what you had to do to me when you had no grounds?
I felt like it was going to be a test, and why did you send the picture?
And for what reason? For what reason did you do it? Was it because of Marty?
What?
I mean, we all know that you talked to Marty beforehand.
Yeah, I did talk to him. I was deeply in love with Marty, but then I met Ed, and everything changed for me.
Bullshit.
So this whole thing is so, like, Cyrax's only argument is like, well, why did you choose me? Why did you go after me? Well, Cyraxs, if you did the crime, then there's your reason why they went after you. You know, these like sting operations or why they do anything like this is because they have a sneaking suspicion that somebody might be doing some felonious behavior, and it just so happens that that was true. But you're upset because you think you're a completely randomly chosen person. But why would they choose me? I'm so innocent. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm Cyraxs. I'm the good guy.
Yeah, but why did you send the picture? Is what I'm wondering. Like, I don't know. Why did you send jerk off videos and dick pics to what you thought was a 14-year-old girl?
hey, look, guys, she's projecting again, like always.
No, I mean, I'm just wondering why you did that.
No, you're projecting. Quit projecting.
How is that projection, Cyraxx? It's a legitimate question. I've answered your question several times, and you don't want to answer mine. Are you watching this live right now? Because I just like. So when you said that you were 30 but you looked 14, what did that mean?
It's like painful, you know. We already had to hear him try and read, but now he literally just regurgitates everything he hears from the trolls. You know, we always say he's projecting whenever he's, you know, talking about somebody being a diddler or ugly looking or whatever. He's just projecting his feelings. The projection moniker here doesn't make any sense, because unless she was equally doing the same thing back to him and was sending naughty videos to him, then it's like, okay, well, I guess she's projecting because she feels like she did something wrong too. He doesn't understand it. He's too stupid to figure it out. But hey, you know, he's turning 30 in September and he looks like he's 14. LOL.
History. I don't at all whatsoever.
Didn't you strangle your grandmother?
That was a one-time thing, and I got.
Don't you have another assault? Isn't this your second assault charge right now?
No, this is actually technically my first. And besides, it wasn't assault. The cops arrested me for no fucking reason because they.
You hit a guy with a baseball bat, Cyraxx. I watched it on the YouTube.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Cyraxx, I watched it. You hit some fucking poor schmuck with a baseball bat.
Shut your ass up. You don't know shit. You really don't know nothing. That dude caught the fucking bat. That doesn't make it fucking assault, bitch.
He's so dumb. He is so dumb. It's really hard to put up with him, man. He's over here saying, yeah, well, it can't be assault because I swung the bat at him, but he caught it. Oh, Cyraxx, yeah. It can't be attempted murder if you shoot a gun at somebody but you miss. Remember that, guys. Unless the act is completely followed through, then it technically didn't even really happen. You know, it was a one-time thing. I strangled my grandma. It's a one-off thing, guys. Come on, we all get a pass. You know, why are we crucifying me? You know, Sally said it was okay, so why is everybody bringing it up?
Arrested you.
You want to know why? I have proof that he set this all up to begin with. And trust when I say I do plan on showing that video on my channel. I do plan on exposing him, just like I exposed you.
So in case you guys didn't know, Cyraxx was actually recording this video. Wow. He was recording himself on the phone call with her, which, I mean, I guess she's live streaming, so there's probably not any stipulations there, but typically, you know, in some states you're not allowed to record people without their permission. But it was already live, so we'll give him a pass there. Either way, this basically covers up the point of where my previous video finished, where Cyraxx got a fake lawyer, and then now he's gotten a real lawyer, and we're going all the way up to where his court case is. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.